Wholeness, welcome to Notes of Naja Rashida. Notes of Nara. I'm Naja Rashida. Welcome. So I just thought I could randomly make a car video because I'm in the middle of doing laundry on a Sunday. And I just wanted to, I guess it's a commentary and curiosity. Out of curiosity, I'm going to ask this question. What is it about human nature where when someone's world is falling apart, okay, you have a human being where, or a group of people or a nation or a celebrity or someone who's doing much better than you and their life is falling apart, why is it that we turn that into a source of entertainment? I've noticed this thing in the digital platforms, on probably thousands at this point, where we take many hundreds of different figureheads, like our president or President Trump, like, our politicians, actors, singers, record producers, even people who, like there's this girl called Hawk Tua. I bumped into that horrible video, and she is now being, her world is crumbling down, and people are making a lot of commentary on her. Why is it, what is it in human nature to where we find that it's okay to turn someone else's downfall into entertainment? You have thousands, like I've mentioned before, of content creators literally turning someone's personal hell into an income. Meaning you have people making commentary, for example, on the P. Diddy and the Jay-Z, the Trump, the who else? Oh, recently the United Healthcare CEO thing, right? The assassination, if you will. And people are literally racking in a lot of money, which, I mean, on the flip side, they're able to pay for their livelihood. They're able to, provide for their children, to buy their home or another home, a better home, invest in their other business interests. It's very interesting how people can make a commodity and become, I guess, famous or well known just off of the back of someone else's suffering. And look, I am not excusing or pardoning any of the ill will that these people have put on hundreds, probably thousands of people throughout their career. But at the same time, I just find it a really nasty and gross thing to feed off of and to materialize and monetize off of another human being's downfall. And maybe your argument could be, well, they had it coming, or, this is the consequences of their actions. No one should feel sorry for them. But it's just something in human nature where someone's already down, and then we beat them down further. And on top of that, we eat. We turn that into, we consume a lot of the negativity that they have. We consume it, and we create this entertainment bubble. Ha ha ha, look at this millionaire fall to pieces. Ha ha ha, look at this CEO get his head blown in. Ha ha ha, look, this guy who's made people suffer. Look at him. Let us just tear him down. And I think this is part of, human nature. It's happened throughout history, with the infamous witch trials in Salem, right? That a lot of innocent people, dozens of innocent men and women, were tortured to death and were killed, all in the name of witchcraft, right? All in the name of control and religion. And so yeah, I'm just throwing this out there. What is it in us that likes the villain falling down, and the villain getting caught and their reputation butchered to shreds, and and a lot of these people are making bank off of our views or commentary or engagement, and it's it's like I'm holier than thou, we're holier than thou than these people. It's like, what makes you think that if you didn't have the same, if you weren't under the same pressure, under the same circumstances, the same upbringing, what makes you think you wouldn't have the capability of committing the same acts? Money and lack thereof pulls out the best and the worst qualities in human beings. Money and lack thereof, right? Already, it takes out what's already within us. Those of us who've experienced poverty or who've had seasons of abundance, or who've had seasons of lack where there's not enough or there's more than enough. It's like there's something in our human nature that's already within our spirit that activates. And I've seen this in my family, my personal relationships, not too many of my friends, but I will say, it's something I've noticed, and it's like, it's a nasty energy. It's like you're taking someone else's personal experience and you're turning it into a business. You're turning it into, money, and it's just very money fueled. It's very ego driven. It's very, I'm holier than thou, and I'm going to continue to feed this, the downfall of this person because this person deserves it. And, rather than completely turning your back on the whole thing, right? I find that there is, I guess, justification in making sure that it is put out there that a person who is wicked and commits wicked acts is, embarrassed, is put out to the public to be, to be exposed. I think that yeah, I agree with that, but there's got to be a certain extent to where it's like, okay, now what next, right? And what I'm noticing is like, okay, we tore down this person, now who's next? It is a bit of a witch hunt, if you will. Like it's just a nasty energy that I've noticed. And or like with the CEO, the United Healthcare CEO. Look, I've done my stint in healthcare, so I've seen it up close and personal of people dying because they didn't have the right insurance, or they didn't get their claim, accepted, or they switched up their medications. They changed the treatment that was working really well. Their bodies have been used to it for so long, and then the insurance says, oh no, we're no longer covering that. It's really nasty business. So on a human level, do I say that that's right, what happened? No. To me, someone who takes the life of another person, you're playing a god. It's very, very deep. You're possessed by the illusion of separation. You can't see yourself in another person when you're capable of taking another life. It is what it is. It's very, very, very self-serving a lot of the time. But however, the human experience is complex. It is multi-layered. It's a nasty, stinky onion, okay? When it comes to the current modern day human experience, right? Because I guess, from what I've read, the individual, the vigilante, if you will, at this point, he took it upon himself to wipe him out. He was going through his own health crisis. And I don't know if any of you know anything about Lyme's disease, but personally, I had someone in my life that was suffering from that, and it literally flips your life upside down. I would never wish that on anyone. I don't have enemies, but the worst person that I know, I would not ever wish that on somebody. It's a horrible illness, and he was going through his own suffering, this individual. So, who took out who just assassinated him. So I don't know. We live in an increasingly more unstable world. And if you believe that you live in a very stable world, you're delusional. You're delusional. And we're all trying to fight to keep stability in our reality, in a very unstable, increasingly unstable reality. It is what it is, right? But I'm just curious, like, why are there so many? Because what the beautiful thing about the digital age is that we're literally actively creating realities, and we're creating, right? You have the ability to create with these platforms. And I'm like, um when I see some of these videos and content creators, I'm like, do they feel better after making that? Do they feel fulfilled? Do they feel like, okay, at least, okay, this is money coming in. I can put this in my kid's college fund, or put this in for retirement, or put this in my business investments? Like, how do they process creating a platform that feeds negativity? Like, I don't know. And I'm not here to go after anybody. I'm not going to name names. You know what I'm saying? This is not that type of platform at all for that. This is more on philosophical commentary, spirituality, consciousness, human nature, the human experience. This isn't me dragging anybody. I don't have the type of energy or time for that. But my question is, how can people create the time and space for that? Like, there's nothing else, that they can share. But again, it's all fueled by the money. And I was telling a friend today, a very dear friend of mine, we went out for brunch today, and she brought up her perspective on, gun ownership and everything. And I told her, I said, well, it's all about your philosophy of life and death. When you know your personal philosophy of life and death, that should answer your question as to if people should have the right of arms, if people should, have a weapon, right? And in the U.S., because she's not from here, she's from another country, and she's very about nonviolence, and the States is incredibly violent, okay? But you find violence everywhere. There's no way around it. However, I just explained to her, I said, if your philosophy of life and death are about, like, if you have children, are you willing to take another life to preserve the life of your children, right? Like, where do you stand on that? Human beings, we've had to commit acts of violence to ensure the survival of our species. It is what it is, right? Your forefathers and foremothers, my forefathers and my foremothers had to slice the neck of many an animal so that we could be here, right? So it's like, again, there are some individuals that are very passive, that if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. If someone's pointing a gun at me in my forehead, do I fight or do I surrender to it? And it's all about your personal belief with life and death. And I'm kind of on the cusp, if you will, when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that, I find and I believe that if it is my time to exit the body and to expand beyond the vessel, it is my time to go. If I'm in a life or death situation and source, consciousness, the universe, God opens up a way out, an exit, I'm out of there. Now, can I say that I'm willing to take the life of another person to preserve my life? I can't stand here and say what I would do, because unless you're under that type of pressure, you can't speak on it, right? A soldier would be able to speak on it. A general would be able to speak on it. Someone who's in the middle of a war, like in Ukraine or Syria or Palestine or Israel or the Congo, right? They can speak on this stuff, okay? But for me, my experience like that on a personal level, I can't speak on that, right? I can hypothesize on what I think I would do based off of my current belief system. But a lot of the time, it's like, I look at it this way. You can't eat bullets. You can't eat money. And these are two of the most unnatural, inhumane practices that we have incorporated into the human experience. Is what it is. Money is not natural. Okay? It's not. You know what I'm saying? You can't grow coin, gold and silver and cash money. Right? And, you know, with bullets, you know, you can't eat that. Bullets run out, you know? So I know I was starting on a whole nother topic, but it's all about your philosophy and where you stand with that. And if you're at peace with that, there's some people who are completely at peace with leaving this life if their life is threatened without putting up a fight. There are other people who are warrior spirit. They have that's deeply ingrained in their programming. It's deeply ingrained in their character and their mind, their heart, their body. They will fight and fight and fight and fight to the death to protect what they have built, what they have, right? Their land, their family, their children. So it's, you know, I think it's a very personal judgment call. Americans don't, the philosophy I think of many Americans is that we do not trust the government because the government does not care about the people. A lot of countries will judge and say Americans are gunslingers, they're stupid, they're ignorant. I will say this about my fellow American people. We will put up a fight. And I think that the whole Western world, the climate is getting a little hotter. And there's a pressure, right? A lot of pressure. And a lot of it has to do with monetary and economic, financial arena, but also cultural, social, spiritual, religious pressure cooker that we're under now. And the powers that be, the shadow elite, right? It's the people that you don't see that control everything. Okay, call me conspiracy theorist, but it is what it is. We don't see them, right? And so it's when you begin to connect all these dots of the people that are on these pedestals and they're being brought down, they're falling, they're become a falling star, right? That's just a distraction. So people are monetizing off of the distraction and really not truly understanding what's behind the curtain. You know, what's behind this entertaining moment of assassination attempts, you know, a successful assassination, you know, these celebrity stars falling from grace, from their intricate web of protection, right? All of that is a distraction that we're monetizing and we're entertaining ourselves with as a society. And all of it's keeping our focus from what's really going on. If there's anything really going on to begin with. There's, oh gosh, it's a cube within a cube, and I can't recall the name of it. The tetrahedron? It's like when there's a cube within a cube. And that's kind of how I see how society is. A cube within a cube within a cube. Or simulation within a simulation within a simulation. And everything, it's causing more and more and more confusion when the deeper they integrate artificial intelligence into our digital age. You know, you have a lot of virtual reality now being incorporated everywhere as a source of entertainment. Are you not entertained? Like the character Marcus Aurelius, or what's his name? The Gladiator. Are you not entertained? What can we do to keep you entertained? Contained, more like it. So I ask you, fellow human beings who are having a human experience, about this whole connection to feeding this beast of negativity, feeding off of the downfall of others. I personally, I never wish ill on those who have wronged me. Ex-partners, family members. I don't like to curse people who have wronged me, because in some form, in some way, I can see myself in them. Even if they can't see me, even if they can't see themselves in me, there's something so deep, on such a deep, infinite soul level, that there's something in me keeping myself from losing myself in the illusion of separation. So I open the platform to you, and I'm just curious, what is it in our nature that feeds off of this? Because it's something that's been a part of us for so long, and that's why so many people really, they love the original story Gladiator, because there's parts of it where they manipulate the people in power in Rome, right? They're manipulating the people to keep them distracted from the instability, the political instability that they had within their empire, by having the games, by having these human beings, these men, kill each other as a form of entertainment. And so it's the same thing that's happening now in modern day society. You have these people, these celebrities, right, that are falling. They're being torn to little pieces. Even if they deserve it, it doesn't matter if they're, if allegations are true or not. It's just, I noticed this thing, we're just going at them, destroying them. And it could be their karmic, their karma, the energy that they put out, the spirits and that they've broken, thousands of people that they've hurt, that they've caused so much pain and suffering. And now it's, or it could be that the shadow elite groups that they've tied their souls to, or sold their souls to, have tired of them and are now disposing of these, very powerful figureheads. But it's all for entertainment, to keep us contained. And we monetize off of that. If I see another damn video on P. Diddy's, the allegations and the Jay-Z affiliations, and, the Trump and the CEO of United Healthcare, all of that shit is to distract us and to keep us contained, to pull our attention away from what's really happening. And the thing is, no one really knows what's happening. Or maybe we do. I don't know. I can't answer that. But let me know what you think. Let me know what you feel. And again, I'm not seeking for approval. I'm not seeking for you guys to agree with me or disagree. I just want to know. Why do we do this? Thank you.